Arm the rebels and just regret it. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin blasting the president's plan to train and arm Syrian opposition forces. He says it's not just very costly, it's very risky to the West Virginia senator right now. Why, Senator? Why is it costly and risky?
Neil, basically, I think we have 13 years of experience in that part of the world. I said if money or if military might or money would change it, we'd have done it by now. We spent 8 years training, arming, feeding, clothing the Iraqi 280-person army. The first time they were challenged, we saw what happened. They turned tail and ran, left their weapons. We've had a guarantee almost all the weapons we put over there somehow fall in the wrong hands and used against us. To say we're going to go into Syria now and saying that this is part of the plan, that we have to arm, train, and arm the Syrian rebels, finding out who the Syrian rebels are they the same people that we've been told that may be part of the group that sold David Soloff, who was beheaded? Horrifically tragic, horrible, barbaric actions. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me, and until the neighbors of that part of the world and that part of the region, until the Saudis, the Turks, the Egyptians, the Jordanians, all of them step up to clean up their neighborhood, their backyard, then they should take the ground war. They should take the ground game, if you will. We'll help them in support in the air game. I'm fine with that, the air support. I'm not fine with us getting drawn in. And they might say, well, it's just an advisory, just a training mission. We've seen this picture unfold before.
Do you think, though, that this can be done without boots on the ground, including our own?
Well, it's going to take boots. It doesn't take American boots. Let's just take, for example, the new Prime Minister of Iraq today made a statement. I think you've carried it. He made a statement basically saying, listen, the air support was terrific. We appreciate the air support for the Americans. We don't need their boots or their forces here, nor do we want them. They know that all we do is enrage and basically give the opposition more power and more ability to recruit. So why suck us into that?
I see what you're saying, Senator, and I've heard that echoed before, but wouldn't we get that kind of rage no matter how we're getting involved, whether just through airstrikes or boots on the ground, that we're actually kind of feeding ISIS's narrative that look at the United States always interrupting, and it's actually going to unite disparate Muslim forces. What do you think?
Neil, being the financial man that you are, we need to cut the flow of money off to ISIS any way, shape, or form. They've got money coming. Now, I know they loot and pillar and steal and rob and do everything else and hold hostage, but they've got oil. We've got to stop that oil flow money. We've got to stop every penny we can going to them. Trust me,
they've already got a lot of money, Senator, right? I mean, let's say you were to stop them getting any additional money. They're already sitting on wads of it right now, and we're told they've been carrying around literally bags of cash because just in case something like this would have passed.
Well, they're buying people. They're buying them over there. I'm basically saying that we give the support that's needed until that part of the world steps up to it. All we do is get embroiled in another long campaign. It hasn't proved satisfactory for us. It hasn't proved good for us. When you think that we've spent $20 billion arming and training the Iraqi army, when you look at, we spent over $1.6 trillion to date and growing. We've lost close to 7,000 lives and over 50,000 wounded Americans, and you want to get drawn back into that? ISIS basically is a threat, can be an imminent threat to the United States. They are not at this point in time. They're more a threat to the people there. And I want to see what the coalition they put together. They've got to come to the table. We're going in there and doing this does not prove that we're going to have anyone that's going to say, okay, listen, we're going to side up with Americans now. We're all Islamists. We're all Muslims. We're Islamic. We're going to side up with Americans' wishes to defeat ISIS. But wait a minute, isn't ISIS fighting the Assad regime the same as we are? And we're all there for a purpose in Syria? Does any of this make sense? Thinking they're going to follow our desire and wishes? I guess if we pay them more and continue to pay them in a perpetual manner, maybe we can buy loyalty. I don't know. I'm not willing to take that risk anymore. I'm willing to give the air support, the tactical support, and the technical support that we have.
Senator, you make a lot of good points. Thank you. Very good seeing you again.
Thank you too, Neil.
Senator Manchin.